Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. Let's take a look at a video.
What about the Sinai Bible? 14,000 differences between the Sinai Bible and the King James Version of the Bible.
So by Sinai Bible, Carson here is referring to Codex Sinaiticus, a 4th century CE Greek codex containing the entire Christian Bible, more or less as we know it today. But because it's entirely in Greek, its Old Testament is the Septuagint, the ancient Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible, which differs in a lot more than 14,000 ways from the Masoretic text, the authoritative Hebrew version of the Hebrew Bible upon which the King James Version is based. So that alone accounts for more than all of the differences he's referring to. And if we want to just look at the New Testament, the King James Version is just a revision of a revision of a revision of a revision going back to Tyndale's New Testament, which was based on the 3rd edition of Erasmus's Textus Receptus, which is based on the manuscripts he had available to him in Switzerland. And they did not have Codex Sinaiticus yet. They wouldn't discover it until the 19th century. And even today, we have a critical edition of the Greek New Testament that is an eclectic version that is cobbled together from thousands of New Testament manuscripts, including Sinaiticus. So we have incorporated Sinaiticus into our understanding of what the New Testament mostly looked like at its earliest reconstructible period. So this is kind of an outdated concern that is also not well informed.
The King James Version of the Bible is much newer, and it was written by King James. I mean, the guy was a pedophile, number one, okay, known pedophile.
I don't know what relevance at all that has to the differences between the King James Version and Codex Sinaiticus.
His number one book isn't the Bible. His number one book is his satanic book, is his number one book. His demonic book and witchcraft books are better, sell better than the Bible. So you're talking about a person into demonism and witchcraft is the person that orchestrated the King James Version of the Bible.
So this is really a baffling claim to me. And for two main reasons. The first is that the King James Version is the single best-selling book that has ever existed. There has never been any book written by anyone, published anywhere at any time, that has sold better than the King James Version. So the notion that his book on demonology, which was published before he became king, was a better seller is laughably wrong. But additionally, it sounds like Carson is saying that King James promoted or endorsed or practiced witchcraft or demonology or something like that. And if that's the case, then that's also wildly wrong, because his book on demonology was precisely about condemning it and saying, this is real, people are doing this, we need to condemn and destroy it.
And there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that doesn't even exist, like hell was added by Rome.
Hell was not added by Rome. The concept develops within Greco-Roman period Judaism as they are coming up with ideas about post-mortem divine punishment. And we see a few different iterations of this in the New Testament. And certainly early Christianity narrowed its focus primarily on the idea of eternal conscious torment, and that was developed within Christianity between ancient and late antique and medieval Christianity, but it wasn't added by Rome. That was just theological innovation based on interpretations of things that were already in the New Testament and were already in circulation within Greco-Roman period Judaism.
The Rapture was added by James Darby.
So that would be John Nelson Darby, and it is accurate that Darby was the innovator of the concept of the rapture, but it was not added to the Bible. It was a reinterpretation of stuff that was already in the Bible.
There's just so many things that have been added to the biblical text.
So this video hasn't really discussed anything that was added to the biblical text. It's just discussing reinterpretations of things that were already in the text. If we want to talk about things that were added to the text, we could talk about the Johannine comma, 1 John 5, 7, and 8. We could talk about the story of the woman taken in adultery. We could talk about the long ending of Mark. We could talk about over a dozen other passages that worked their way into the manuscripts well after the authors had originally completed them and the authors themselves had passed away. There's certainly text gain that has taken place over the centuries, but this video has identified none of it. And the fit for this video has been hotel.